everybody, welcome to Can't Draw Horses Club. I'm Corey, and today we have Michelle here.
Hello.
Michelle brought an embroidery project to work on,
I
and I
was looking
have
out.
back to the other. Hold on.
Oh,
There.
sorry.
Yep.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
Oh, you got it. You're doing it on purpose.
It's actually a very fancy tambourine that makes no noise. It's really fun. But yeah, I'm
And
working on this cute
yeah,
owl.
I got some embroidery brushes in Clip Studio to play with. It might
Yeah,
be
well, this
fun.
is
I
gonna be
could
fun.
like decorate a pillow or something.
I mean, you're basically making a pattern, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Uh oh. Yeah, I'm excited to have you here today. We were just talking a lot about
Yeah.
flowers in my area and how many there
Yes.
are, which is a lot, which is great because for the longest time my grandmother lived in Oregon and would in the spring in February start posting flower pictures, and my mom hated it. But now my grandma and my mom are in Edmonton, and I think they're just finally clear of the snow. So I've been sending them pictures of like all the lovely California poppies and the cherry blossoms and just, normal,
Yeah.
everyday flowers that one might see here but not in Edmonton.
I really love, gosh, I think that's one thing I do miss about the West Coast is I think just there's just so many flowers. That's one thing that I've grown to really enjoy about I'm just gonna start
Oh,
if
sure.
it's all good. Yeah. I'm gonna have to I don't have too much thread left, so I'm gonna have to like probably snip this in a hot second. Yeah,
Ooh.
okay. Um, but yeah, I think that's one thing I definitely miss about being in the West Coast is just like flowers all the time. What's this? It's a flower. All the time there are flowers. And then of course being in Boston, now I'm like, okay, well, there aren't any flowers because the world is dead. The world is dead and covered in ice. That's not fun. I guess I'll just wait here and dream of spring. And now that spring is here, I effing love spring. It just makes me so happy. Um, I don't know if it's because I was deprived of it for so long. I think it's also here on because I'm not used to the vegetation here on the East Coast. um, I'm not used to the vegetation here, so like every time it's like Animal Crossing. Like every time something new comes out of the ground, I'm like what's
The
that?
new season update just dropped.
The new season? No, it really is. It's like a new season update just dropped. What's that plant? What's that bug? What's going on? So it really does feel like IRL Stardew Valley, which I'm sure is going to. I'm sure after a couple of years is going to be less exciting, but for now, I am glorying, like just absolutely reveling in the awesomeness that is not winter, I suppose is the
That's
thing
what the
that I will
official name
say.
is. Yeah, that's what we call it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not winter, but also like I am just really I'm doing some gardening. This is the back of my piece. Please no judge.
We're just gonna zoom in on
Hey,
that and
just gonna zoom
mm,
on that and be
mm.
like,
You know, I've
mm.
seen other beginners doing beginner level projects slightly better than you.
Oh, that's fine.
That's my
I
feedback as a professor of art.
Oh, amazing. I'm honored and
I'm
filled
the
with
official
esteem for your
horse club
professionalism.
judge and executioner. I should have added that information when I invited you. Uh,
Oh, I mean, yeah, I feel a little ambushed now, Gory.
mm,
Jeez. Okay, here's the thing. I just put down my needle and I don't know where it went because my playmat likes
uh,
to. So eventually I will find this needle, but it's okay because, oh no, I'm smart. I put it in my tiny pincushion.
that is adorable.
Thank you.
What?
Yes, so I
I
just,
just have like the old tomato looking ones. Like everyone's
hey,
got a tomato.
everyone does have a tomato and there's nothing wrong with the tomato. I want to put that. I just I just twee. I just like twee things. They make me happy. So, for folks who don't know what the heck I'm doing, so I finished um, I finished that thread. Basically, I still had maybe a better person than me could get a couple more stitches out of these 3.5 inches of
Well,
embroidery
that
ply.
person doesn't exist, so we don't need to think about them.
So I'm not going to think about that. So
Yeah.
I'm moving on to a new one, and because I'm working on this little chesty bit, which is the technical term for this part of an owl. I am taking out. I only want the thickness to be like around that. I don't need it to be thick, thick.
Oh, so you're
T H I
splitting your
C.
thread.
So I'm taking this and I'm splitting it very carefully, so I don't end up with like some awkward knotting and twisting. Um, hey, stop that. Hey, you got this. I believe in you. This is also my second embroidery project, so if other people are like, oh, that's not how you do it, like, cool. Cool, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, no, the, the,
I'll
the
figure it out
mods
later.
won't be on that if that happens.
Amazing. Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to thread this needle using this very cute um, needle threader. Waka waka.
So I've, on my end, sketched a flower, and
Love that.
I'm going to be experimenting with the sizes of these brushes because I don't know how big the pattern brushes are. Some of them are probably really tiny,
Uh huh.
but I'm gonna try and embroidery stitch this flower. I don't know what the words mean. I don't know what broderie is.
Embroidery.
That might just be the name of the set that I
I don't
downloaded.
know. I, I, um, it's weird. I never really thought about embroidery until I wanted to have something to do with my hands during Gloomhaven. So I play a weekly game of IRL Gloomhaven with friends and my partner. And, sometimes it can take a really long time for your turn to come around. So I basically am like, I just want to be here. And so I wanted to do something that wasn't knitting because it's like almost summer and the summer knitting is just not my bag. I really like knitting in the colder months. So I thought embroidery would be nice. It doesn't, require a lot of, um, I guess, a lot of space.
Right.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to know what kind of stitch I'm doing, it is so this part of it of the chesty bit needed a buttonhole scallop, and
Ooh.
so this actually does come. So this is a kit, and it's done by Kiriki, which I think is not Japanese, but is in fact like some kind of Scandinavian name word thing. But it does come with this like front and back piece. So you can see I've done a chain stitch. Chain stitch is basically this like little braided looking stitch here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how well you can see that, but you can use it to basically edge things and create like little it's great for words if you want to spell something out. So if I was like, say, embroidering a kerchief for my lover, oh, so they can carry my favor onto the field of
Uh
battle,
huh.
I would I would definitely put my name or sigil or whatever. Like I would definitely use this stitch while making said kerchief if I were in fact an ye olde times lady with one of those hats that looks like an upside
Or
down ice
just in
cream
the
cone.
SCA. One of the two.
Yeah, one of those two. But yeah, so that this comes with like instructions and like what you're gonna do, what you need, um, floss. Everything is like pre-cut, which is lovely. And then like what to do
Mm-hmm.
when you're done, like what stitches go where, which is super great. Um, and eventually you will end up with something that looks like this. So this is
Ah.
my first embroidery this is my first embroidery project. It's a little foxy dude.
Can you
Love
squish the
love him very
tongue?
much.
Give it a
You
boop?
can most
Like, oh
you,
yeah.
I can also do a little boop boop, a nose boop. So so yeah, you can do a little squish squish. And yeah, as you can see, it was my first project, so I didn't actually embroider the kitty key here. But I'm going to do that with all of my from now on. This was a level 2 pattern. I'm working on a level 3 pattern. Level 3 is like the highest that they have. So I am trying to be patient with myself as I go through and like learn all these stitches and figure what the heck I'm doing the
Mm-hmm.
first time. So yeah. Oh, so the name is Kiriki. That's Kiriki.
They've got it.
Except the last I has like an accent aigu. So if you speak French, it's got like a little like slanty thing. So I don't know how you pronounce that,
Oh, it makes
but
the A sound. Or
so
Kiri.
Kirike,
Yeah. If it's
beautiful. Thank you.
E,
So
E, Kiriki.
Kiriki,
Yeah.
cute. Yeah, it's great. And yeah, I really love seeing the little textures that come out of these stitches. Um, for example, I did a bunch of little French knots up here, so it's very nubbly.
Mm-hmm.
It's very pleasant to just do this. It's just like, ooh, such nubbles. Very fun, very soothing. But yeah, they've got a ton of really cute like woodland critters, and I just chose the ones that appeal to me the most. And oh dear,
Oh no.
oh no,
Ah, oh, oh.
oh no,
Disaster. Ah.
no, it's fine. I can do this. I just
Unpick your
pulled it
knot.
far too quickly. I'm unpicking a knot. You can do this. No, no, no.
Oh.
There we go. Did it. Brilliant. Okay. I don't know if that's ever happened on stream for your performance. Like, oh shit. Project is getting
Well, it's like
upended.
with embroidery, the consistency matters a whole lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like your tension, the size of your thread, those kinds of things. And if you've got an unwanted knot in the middle of your chesty bit, it's just gonna you gotta throw it all away. Like, no, I'm kidding. With I'm glad with a lot of needlework stuff you can remove it.
Yes, it's pretty simple to remove. I have some very sharp scissors. So if something must be sacrificed for the good of all, I am willing to make it so.
Mm-hmm. Although, like, losing work is always painful.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing I've learned from like pottery is that I actually it's a much easier lesson to not easier, but it's a much more frequent lesson to learn um, than like other mediums I've toyed with, which is like you know you need to be able to kill your darlings if it's just not working out. You need to be able to just straight up throw things in the trash because sometimes things just don't work out, and oftentimes there's nothing you can do about it or to salvage it. um, so I think I've got one more knot here.
So I've
You are
I've
playing with the
I've
brushes.
diddled all the brushes, and I'm really happy to discover that one of them is a blanket stitch, which is one of my
Oh, nice.
favorite
I
stitches.
love, yes, I love blanket stitches. I was a fool and decided to make a baby blanket for my friend um,
Oh,
without a sewing machine to like baste everything adequately together. So I hand basted everything and then like sewed it myself by hand and then like hand did like the blanket stitch on the end by hand. And
yeah.
It was a lot. I mean, but you should be hand doing your. I mean, I
It's
think
okay. Yeah, a
most
blanket
people
stitch is
do.
pretty much always a hand thing, but it's also really
Always a
like
hand thing.
satisfying to have it come together
Oh, it was really great, and it was very soft and extremely machine washable, which I thought was very important.
for baby stuff.
Well, baby stuff. I'm always bewildered whenever I go into like a slightly higher end craft supply store.
Right.
Um, and they're like, "Oh, your baby deserves the finest and softest of things. Consider giving your baby this cashmere merino blanket." And I look at this blanket, I'm like, "Yes, it is very soft, it is very cute. I could also envision this being covered in fluids."
Yeah, that's never getting washed. That's just never. That's gonna be like it's gonna be covered in a hard crust at the end of that of
God.
the end of its lifespan.
So, my grandmother-in-law, she passed away a while back, so rest in peace. But so she was part of like the nouveau riche of New York City, and after she married my grandfather-in-law, it was a whole to do. She was 18 years younger than him. It was like
Whoa.
very scandalous.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But because she was part of the Nouveau Riche, she was like, "Ooh, I got to make sure I look like those ladies on the Upper West Side and like live like them too." So she had like all this stuff that we now have just in a closet somewhere, like still like monogram silverware and some random stuff. Like the first time I met her was during Thanksgiving, or my first Thanksgiving with his family, and she just swanned in looking like Norma Desmond, complete with a fox fur around her neck and decolletage. Like it was complete with a squashed head with glass eyes. It was
Did you get to touch
wild.
it? Was it
I did.
soft?
I did get to touch it because she left it on a chair, and I'm like, "This is bold, okay." I guess maybe you don't want to drip gravy on your fox fur. But apparently, when Doug was born, and he still has this, and it's terrifying, she gave him a mink teddy bear. And I'm like, but why? But why? And he loved that teddy bear. Like, it's lost limbs and that were then put on, and maybe not the correct way. Um, it's lost an eye. Its nose is a whisper of what it once was. It's all kinds of like why did you give him why would you give a baby anything meek? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when I was a kid I had like a rabbit's foot.
Oh, like when you were a baby or were you
Young, not a bebe.
okay.
Uh that was always fun to play with, even though it still had toes. And we had a beaver pelt
Oh,
as a chair back. And it started to shed, but it was very nice to just pet and get all of the hair lining up the same way.
that's so yeah, are beaver pelts very soft? Because I know that isn't aren't the hats that are made by are made slash worn by the guard like the queens, the people with the
The
big
big puffy
hats,
hats?
the big puffy hats. Yeah, aren't they beaver hats?
I don't think so because usually beaver hats are like felted, so you get like the black top hats.
Ah. Oh, I
Those
see.
are
I see.
beaver.
Okay. It's funny. The other so apparently global warming is causing um the guards in front of Buckingham Palace to like have some issues with their current uniform.
That's
Because
delightful.
who know because I don't know if you know this, but wearing a big ass like fur hat
While
in
standing in
summer.
direct sunlight, unable to move or blink. Yep.
Yep. I think I saw a picture of one just lying on the ground. Oh, presumably on break.
I don't think
Just
they're
like
allowed to show weakness.
if anyone does show for weakness, like someone from MI6 just shows up and just dispatches them immediately.
Yeah.
You're British. You're not supposed to show any emotion. Oh yeah, uh, TXC2. Yes, they are very much armed. I discovered this when I went to London, and quickly realized like no, I could not. I should not like just go near them because they may be bright red and fuzzy, but they're also scary and have a gun.
Yeah, yeah, they're real. They're not just a
For
tourist
real.
attraction.
They have they have a big gun. Actually, I found this out too when I was well not so much the guards, but like I went to the Eiffel Tower um a while back and was like, Paris,
Oh,
beautiful.
French guards, French police. Oh
French
my
guards are
god.
so scary. They're so scary. I can see why they were referenced, like some kind of French military force was referenced in that 1998 Godzilla movie. Like, they are definitely the scariest thing in that movie. Just the French guards, not Godzilla, not their brood of children in New York City. Ooh, I got caught there. I think that might have been Hank Azaria, actually, playing one of the French dudes. I can't remember. It's been so
It's weird
long
to
since
think
I've
of
seen that
Hank
movie.
Azaria as scary.
Well, give him a black beret and a machine gun. I think that might do the trick.
That's
It did
fair.
for me. So I'm making a chain stitch.
Oh, French guy was Jean Reno. There we go. Yeah,
Oh, Jean Renaud.
that
Oh,
makes
never mind.
sense. That's fine.
Why was I thinking of Hank
Oh,
Azaria?
he's in it. He's just a different character.
Oh, I mean, I love that Godzilla movie mostly because it's so campy. Um,
I have a lot of friends with opinions on Godzilla movies, and they're not a fan of Zilla, but I love Zilla.
I love Godzilla, both as a representation of like both as a I think as an anti-war Japanese media giant,
Yeah,
but also as also within its place in history as like a fictitious reckoning of nature against the hubris of man.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
like I love that symbology, but also like I like to see big things destroy other things. On a primal level, this is very satisfying to me.
yeah. So right now, like, I'm upset that I can't watch Shin Ultraman, but
Mhm,
it made me think about Shin Godzilla, which I haven't seen for a couple of years, and so I'm it's on the short list of stuff to watch soon because it's got some of the coolest Zilla stuff in it.
mhm.
I'm sorry, not Zilla. That's the name of the Broderick or Matthew Broderick one, but yeah, Shin Godzilla, just that energy beam, like oh. I did not like the other modern Godzillas, although uh Kong versus Godzilla was pretty good.
I feel like the whole movie, I know you don't like it, but I do feel as if the whole movie was basically an excuse to write the epic line, Kong bows to no one, which is just so good. Um, I really wish that they had done a bit more to set up Mechagodzilla. Like, why did Mechagodzilla really act this way? Was it really like a Ghost in the Shell situation where Ghidorah, like from the last movie, still retains some sense of some sentience?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like they maybe hinted at that, but I really would have loved that spelled out because it's a Godzilla movie and I want everything to be spelled out. This isn't an A24 movie. This isn't Midsommar.
Ooh, speaking of A24, I finally got to see Everything
Everything
Everywhere.
everywhere all about. Yeah.
Yes. I had to look away for one scene because I don't like hand damage, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, at least there's a
But this
countdown during that. Yeah.
A24 actually sells hot dog gloves. For sorry for
Oh,
mild spoiler for anyone who
the
has
hot
not
dog
seen
fingers
Everything
are the
Everywhere All.
worst, and I love them. And I hate how much mustard and ketchup there is. I just cannot with
I had
the
to look away.
hot dog
I also
fingers.
I also had to look away. It was just like it was. I think my partner was like, "That's a really MST3K move," and I'm like, "Yes," and I love it. Like I, gosh, I love that film so much. I really wish that there was like better, like more merch. I did end up getting a pin with whatchamacallit, with Lucy. Oh no, what am I? I'm at with Michelle Yeoh's face on it.
Did you
Where
put
did
it
I
back in
put?
your stabby thing?
No. Yes, I did because I'm smart. Michelle of 1 minute ago was a lot smarter than Michelle 1 minute later.
Yeah,
That's all I can say.
but no, it's made me want to kind of rewatch Crouching Tiger because I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
Honestly, a lot of the pacing and stylistic choices really remind me of Edgar Wright, actually.
Oh, for sure. But I just want to
Yeah.
see Michelle Yeoh kick ass.
Oh yeah, no, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was just not so much a rebuttal or
Oh,
a put down, more of like a slight tangent, rather.
yeah.
That's what I was attempting to do with the conversation, seem with someone unsuccessfully appears. Um, but yeah, gosh, she was actually really great in the Mummy Part 3, the mummying. I don't know if you're aware that
I
this
think the
exists.
Scorpion King wiped a lot of my memory of the Mummy stuff. I've seen the first Mummy a lot, but the tertiary mummies not so much.
I have seen the Mummy Part 2. I've only seen clips of Mummy Part 3, but that was clearly meant to be for a Chinese audience. So they got like, I don't know if it's Jet Li,
It's
but they
gotta
definitely
be
got
Jet
Michelle
Li. It is
Yeoh.
Jet Li.
Yeah. So it's like, so they're like actually addressing the Terracotta Army underneath the Great Wall, and so Michelle Yeoh's in it, and she does a lot of cool stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very satisfying. If you only watch those clips on YouTube, it's very satisfying. But also like, um, yeah, Michelle Yeoh was a Bond girl back in the day, and I look at her and I look at Pierce Brosnan, and I'm like, ooh, one of you has aged extremely well. To be fair, Michelle Yeoh is also an Asian woman, and we all know that Asian women do not age until they want to.
Brosnan was in Tenet, right?
Yes,
I don't think he's
yes, I think he
aged
was.
badly. Like he
Oh,
still
he's
looks
in Dream
pretty. Like
Factory.
I don't think he's really moved much in the last 20 years.
No,
Maybe a
he's just
little
gotten
weight gain,
fuzzier.
but yeah.
He's just gotten fuzzier.
Whereas yeah, Michelle Yeoh is just only growing more attractive as time goes on.
I'm like, but how?
Like I just saw her in a picture because she's it's like an Instagram account. She's like jeans and a t-shirt, and I'm like, damn, badass.
I mean, she used to be a ballet dancer, and then she did kung fu.
She does have kind of a little bit of prima donna energy.
Oh, I think you have um, to succeed in entertainment,
Hmm.
to that at that level. I think.
Well, it's like TXT2 brought up Ming Na Wen, and she doesn't really have the ballet dancer energy.
Ming Na Wen is, um, isn't she American as well? I forget if she's American. I don't know if she's just now. I'm looking this up because
Yeah,
now we're
maybe
talking
it's
about
like
someone.
a cultural nature versus nurture issue.
I think she's American. Yes. So Ming Na Wen is American, but I think that the um how do I put it? Like the way that they found Michelle Yeoh was like with Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
Like, and they were just like, "Oh, but you're a ballet dancer, essentially fighting." choreography is choreography. You know, you seem like someone who'd be really good at this, so we're going to teach you all the things and have you be part of the Jackie Chan family.
Yes,
Um,
with Golden Harvest.
yeah.
And then she was in Police Story, and she jumped a motorcycle.
Someone who I haven't seen a lot lately is Zhang Ziyi.
Recently, I feel like I have, but I can't remember if it's because I was watching old movies or not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've always wanted like someone who has severe prima donna energy. I think is Gong Li.
Yeah, that's
I I would like pay money, not exorbitant amount of money because I don't have an exorbitant amount of money, but I don't understand. I guess maybe someone who understands Chinese, the current state of like how Chinese history is being portrayed because it's very political, obviously, and I'm not Chinese, so I don't understand obviously the full political ramifications of why we can't have a Wu Zhetan Empress Wu Zhetan movie with Gong Li at the helm. Like, I do not understand why has this not happened yet. But yeah, like a movie about like the first and only Empress of China with Gong Li at the helm in the titular role would just be so badass.
yeah. I signed me up.
Like the only non the closest actress I can think of who has that energy but in a slightly different way is maybe Eva Green.
I'm not familiar.
She was Vesper Lind in Casino Royale, but she also has a penchant for playing very like witchy women.
Okay. Yeah, now I'm just thinking about Mads Mikkelsen.
That's totally get Mads Mikkelsen, Michelle Pfeiffer. Oh gosh, it's his name. Uh, Guy in Peaky Blinders. I don't remember.
Cheekbones Man?
Cheekbones Man. I was about to say, like, get them all in a room, and then if they walk out of it, like the room would just like the walls will just be eviscerated because the cheekbone, just the cheekbones are just so
Yeah.
sharp. They're
And
just
then,
like
like,
cutting into
Numi
everything.
Rapace just slips in there. Just like, yeah, Cillian. Yeah.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. But yeah, I loved Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought it was just so innovative and fun and fast paced, and I'm never gonna disrespect a fanny pack again.
Thank
Um,
you. I'm
yeah.
glad you learned. Yeah. Everyone should stop dissing the fanny pack. They're functional and stylish, but mostly functional.
They're very functional in ways that you would not expect. Ah, so good. So what's fun is that the actress who plays Michelle Yeoh's character's daughter is also a supporting actress in um, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which is fun. I kind of fell off that
I think
particular
I've only seen
show.
2 seasons.
Yeah, I fell off after the second season when I found out like, oh, she like outed her colleague, and I'm like, that's not cool. And
No.
then the show was like, oh, you know, you're too pretty to have to actually have real consequences, so or to learn from this.
Yeah, but I've always liked Tony Shalhoub. So
Totally was wonderful.
yeah, but I also don't like the will they won't they romantic stupid garbage, like the oh they're a divorced couple, are they gonna get back together? I'm like, that's stupid. More comedy, please.
Less angst, more comedy.
I don't care who's boning. Do stand up.
Oh gosh. So I think I mentioned at some point, like I'm taking improv classes. Yes, I have signed up for that particular. I don't know. It's almost like Scientology a little bit, in that there's like a bunch of levels and
Yeah.
like classes and stuff like that. So,
Like, I guess if
um,
you're on the East Coast, that does make more sense. If you're stuck there kind of between like Second City and uh like Toronto, like all of the that zone. But
and
over here in the
conferences
West,
and
just like improv levels? What?
yeah, I guess because it's like East Coast, it's more old school. I guess it's also how they keep their theater running, so I can't be too upset. Um, but yeah, so they also teach stand up now, and it's so funny. When I so they use the classroom after our class is done, and so when we leave the classroom, the vibe of the people coming out and the vibe of the people who are waiting to get in are so different. It's so different. My improv class is just mostly women and like non-binary folks, and all the people who come in after us are like these older dudes, older cis dudes, who when I so they're sitting in like this lounge area, and all of them are like this, or
Yeah.
like having like legs kind of crossed in a way, is like trying to look as effortlessly cool as possible. And I don't know, there seems like to be a masculine relaxation contest happening in that corner. And I didn't know who they were, so I first asked like one of the teachers, like, "Oh, what's that group? That's a very different vibe. Are they like corporate?" And like, "Nah, those are the stand-up people." And I'm like, "This makes so much sense."
Uh,
Yeah, because improv is so much of a team sport, and stand-up is like it's just you and this mic. I hope you have the confidence and the self-loathing to make this funny. So, what to think about making with your embroidery brush kit?
I drew bones. I found a
Oh, they're
stitch
good.
that I was like, you know what, this would be kind of cool if it was a skeleton instead of a flower. And so I
Oh,
was
nice,
doodling a
cute.
little skull thing. Also, I've learned that the brushes right now are pressure sensitive, so
Oh,
the stitch gets bigger the harder I press, which I should disable, but was kind of fun to play with.
nice. I'm afraid that pressure does not, in fact, increase the number of my the size of my stitches is what I mean to say.
Hmm.
Let's see.
No, the stand up conversation reminded me. In 2018, I went on the Joko cruise, and
Oh, hey, you were there. The Wait, that was my first Joko cruise. Were we on the boat at the same time and we just didn't know that?
maybe, maybe, but like Murray Bamford was there,
Oh,
and
nice.
Cameron Esposito, I think, but they did
Oh,
a stand up workshop,
oh, that's
and
awesome.
some of my friends kind of took part in that. But it was really cool to see Maria Bamford's giant notebook that she just works out of on all of her new material, and Jackie Kashian was there. But I the 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 general impression of stand up is that people are kind of spontaneously and unrehearsed
Mhm.
delivering basically a monologue that's funny, and seeing someone actually put in the work and kind of bounce ideas off other comedians and do after show like feedback for new material
Mhm.
and review those notes was amazing.
Well, that's really great. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It sounds like much less of a sausage fest, perhaps.
Yeah, I don't remember any sausages.
But that's really cool. You went on Joko. So you haven't gone back, I assume?
No. No. 2019 was kind of a stinky year for me, but
Hmm.
then the pandemic happened and now boats don't exist.
Well, Boat did happen this year, and we
No,
were
no, it
all
didn't.
like,
No, and no conventions are happening either. There's
oh,
no.
amazing. Yeah. I love how careful everyone is being right now. It makes me so confident in the future of our
Yeah,
species.
it's been really rough with all the airports shut down, but yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's how I got smuggled into Canada earlier this year. They put me in an empty maple syrup barrel and just wheeled me in.
Yeah, you had to go over the falls
I had to go to the falls. Kathleen and
backwards.
Grandpa to
Yep.
come pick me up in the dead of night.
Yeah, it's weird because like that wasn't even a full boat that year. I think the next year was the full boat.
Hmm.
And hi Ard. Uh, yeah, I had a great time. I met a lot of cool people like Ard, and, and I still have those relationships. I'm like doing my podcast with my friend Josh, and
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it was my first time on a cruise at all,
same.
period. And I remember running around being like, "This is on the boat? There's a spa on the boat?
Yes,
There
that's
are
where I
how
spent
many
most of my
restaurants?"
time was on those beds.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I didn't see you. I was running around the boat with like a chicken in my head cough, being like, "This is on the boat. This is on the boat." It was very much like oh gosh, a much less cool, much less Tim Burton version of what's this from Nightmare Before Christmas. It's like, what's this? What's this? There's three restaurants on this floor. What's this? There are 200 board games. What's this? Yeah, and we were so lucky. The last time we were on was 2020, and we it was so scary. Like when we got on the boat, the CDC and everyone was like, "Oh, it's fine. Like just wash your hands, use hand sanitizer, so on and so forth. It'll be okay." And then as we were on the boat, the situation evolved over those 7 days to
Yeah,
the point where we like refused port of entry for like one place. And then we ended up like, gosh, we ended up fine. Like, no, we didn't catch COVID, which was super lucky. To this point, I have not caught COVID, knock on wood. Um, so if any of you are those like scientists or whatever looking for
if
people,
any of
I
you are
guess
scientists, yeah,
no, there's like a
yeah.
Washington Post
Ian and
article
I will
about like
also donate to that study if you're looking for people.
who haven't
We
caught
haven't caught it either.
anything yet. Yeah, we've been very lucky. Um, but yeah, we got back, had a very harrowing grocery store run. It was definitely terrifying because we were just like, what do we get? What seems proper? We don't want to, you know, take resources that somebody else might need.
Yep.
So there was that. What was very clever though was this was so my partner went to his office to pick up his computer and other technical things he'd need to work from home. And while he was there, he grabbed so many toilet paper rolls. It was
From his
wonderful.
office?
of his office, yeah. Because like no one else was going to use them. No one was in the office. So he stole 4 corporate sized things of toilet paper and brought it home. And I was like, I love you so much. You're so smart. This is fantastic.
No, 2020 we went to Boston for PAX East
Oh,
in March.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think that was the last East you've been to, yeah?
Yeah. That's the only PAX East I've been to. And there was a lot
Well,
of hand
hopefully,
sanitizer, and it took my skin 2 years to recover from the dryness of Boston in in the winter.
the dryness of Boston.
Yeah, like the wind tried to peel my skin off.
It does that.
I'm from the icy north, and it's not that bad.
I don't know. I just think it's the souls of like too many old dead white men trying to regain some kind of, I don't know, life or composure. Um, yeah, they had PAX East again this year. I thought about going, and then was like, nope, cases are rising. I'm staying,
Good call.
and turns out to be the exact right call. So, not that I wanted it to be necessarily.
Yeah, TXC2. Boston's directly on the ocean. You can see the ocean.
Yes,
It just
and what's that? We
it's
we also have a
dry.
river. Oh wait, what did I do? Why did I do
Oh
that?
no,
That was silly.
what
It's
happened?
okay. I
Disaster
just
strikes?
no, it's fine. Nothing
Okay,
nothing
all right.
happened. I forgot to go underneath. I just like very absentmindedly stabbed my piece from
Boop boop boop.
above rather than below. Yeah, Boston's right on the water. That's where we yeeted all the tea uh, into the harbor. That's what we're known for. We yeet tea.
Back in the 1700s.
We didn't have a thing. Well, we not really. It was there. We just didn't acknowledge it or have words for it. But yeah, a bunch of people did a cultural,
Did a
ster-
cultural. Hmm.
did a cultural stereotype like appropriation thing, and yeeted tea into the harbor because we didn't want to pay all those taxes.
Oh. Yeah, really
We did a
super
tea.
fun time period there. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a tea yeet.
Tea.
A tea yeet. Um.
And then what happened?
Oh gosh, so much stuff. Wait, no. Uh, it's okay. I'm just gonna.
I'm gonna start
I'm
singing
gonna make this
Hamilton if you keep this up.
wrong part of the country. That's New York.
What do you mean wrong part of the country? They're like next to each other,
No, we're not. We're not next to each other.
basically touching.
We're not. No. I mean, to be fair, the East Coast is extremely dense. That's one thing I had forgotten when I moved out here. I was like, wait, Rhode Island is an hour away.
Look, in Canada, cities are 8 hours apart. That's
Why is
the
that?
distance.
Is it just not much in the middle that's worth inhabiting?
Yes.
Okay. Like,
Well, it all
What's up in
has to do
Manitoba?
with the Métis. Yeah, no, it's the railroad that kind of designated where big populations would go.
Oh, interesting.
We're still a really young country, anyways. Like I think Newfoundland joined in the 40s.
Oh, wow.
Um, Canada wasn't really its own country during World War One.
Hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of the stuff that's more further north is just so that we maintain ownership of the Northwest Passage,
Oh, okay.
but it's mostly empty. I think 90% of our population's within 100 kilometers of the border.
I often forget how tiny Canada is
Uh,
with regards to its people, like how
I
many
think our
people you got.
population is on par with California.
and nowhere near as chaotic. I'm just joking. It's probably just as chaotic in some ways. But yeah, heck, um, Boston is a pretty good mid-sized city. I'm not certain how big our population is, um, but it's been really nice so far. Like everyone's been uh, very kind. It's not as diverse as San Francisco for obvious reasons, but but it's also not a capitalist late stage capitalist hellhole. So that's also great. Won't complain
Mm,
about that.
mm.
Yeah, Uber is doesn't have its headquarters here, so that's nice. Or Twitter.
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, there are a lot of like robotics and like biogen startups here though, so that's been
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, Victoria also wants to be a tech haven. It's
No.
they try. They keep trying. There's a lot of incubators and startups.
Hmm.
Uh Slight problem, we're not Vancouver. Um and wages aren't very attractive.
I mean, when I visited, it seemed like Victoria is just very cute and quaint. It's got like any minute, someone's gonna break out into song,
That
and other
happens.
people will join.
That happens.
Other, other people will join in a mysteriously but fabulously choreographed dance number, and that'll just happen naturally. Whereas in Vancouver, that was actually part of a film set.
Oh, there's lots of filming here too.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
Tons.
What did they? I feel like it would be a really great place to film like a murder mystery. I don't know why. There's something very quaint about
Actually,
Victoria
they
that makes
did
me think it's
film
good.
Broadchurch,
Really?
a little east of here. Wasn't Airbud? Yeah, they film a lot of animal movies. There's a lot of monkey movies.
What? Why? What is it about Victoria that makes it perfect for a monkey movie?
It's easy to get an interior space, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah. Pretty much all
yeah, I
of
haven't.
BC is kind of filming area.
Gotcha. It is such a pretty area with a really nice climate. So this is understandable.
Hmm. It makes it really hard sometimes because you'll be watching like Tron Legacy and be like, those roads don't go together. Or what were we watching? Oh God, it was a new thing. It was just like, that's the Badlands. This is filmed in Alberta. That's not where they say they are.
Yeah, a bunch of movies before I left were being filmed in San Francisco, like
Hmm.
Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, Ant-Man, The Matrix.
We have
Uh,
the X Manor. The X Mansion is here
oh, that's very
at the
cool.
castle.
Um,
Um, it's break time. I'll come back in a few minutes with a list of all of our famous film locations.
Brilliant.
But everyone sit tight and enjoy these ads. Ciao. We're back. Welcome to Cantor
We're
Horses
back.
Club. If you're joining us recently, Michelle's working on an embroidery kit, and I am very lazily poking at a daisy.
Nothing like a good daisy poking in a nice June afternoon.
How is your owl doing? How is your
I
chest
think
area?
it's
You
doing
finished
well.
a whole row.
I finished a whole row. I'm starting this row. This particular stitch is a little like thread intensive because I am creating a chain stitch from one end to the other, and then I go and I do like knots
On it.
in it because that's how buttonhole stitches do. And then I do a little like filling in right there so you get the little like feathery effect. But yeah, I am still we're still plotting ahead, friends. We're getting there.
Hmm.
Wish I could
Uh,
say it was more exciting.
Thank you to Beowulf in the chat for posting, which I what I assume is a link to the Every Frame a Painting Vancouver Never Plays Itself video.
Oh,
That's a fun one.
oh, so I do have a fun story about filming in San Francisco.
Oh, filming what?
No, I personally was not filming
Aw,
anything, but I film is not my medium of choice. It's mostly things I make with my hands, um, or say with my face. Um, but
that's half of acting.
that's how yes. But so yeah, Venom, the original Venom, when it was filming in San Francisco, they were block. They basically grabbed a whole block like near the Tenderloin, where my friend was. Oh, what happened here? Or my friend was living at the time with his
Fun.
partner, and so my friend though is a cantankerous sort, and he's just a very particular man. Like he just likes things to be on a schedule and very regular. And he's only 38, so I don't really have know what why. Um, but yeah, he really likes things to be a. I've messed up, and that's why I'm working on this. But yeah, he really likes things to be done at a particular time. He likes it to have a good routine, and so when the filming crew asked for the entire neighborhood, oh not well that whole block rather, to basically turn off all their lights for the next hour so they could film a shot.
Yep.
Um, my friend was like, "Fuck you, no, this is my time to sit at home after a long day's work, get high, and just live my life. So fuck you, Venom. Fuck you, Tom Hardy. I'm not doing this." Um, and so basically so the bunch of the production, a bunch of the crew were like on bullhorns, trying to get him to turn off his light because he was being a belligerent
Uh huh.
um, individual. And he's just like, no, no, I don't care. I don't care. And then eventually a voice comes on and says, hi, this is Tom Hardy. If you could please turn off your light for the next hour, that'd be real great. We just need to get this one shot done. Um, if you just turn off your light, please. And at that point, my friend's like, okay, if Tom Hardy is asking me to
Tom
turn off my
Hardy
light
asked me very nicely. Yeah.
on a bullhorn to turn off your light, so I turned off his light.
A fun story about how your friend caved to social pressure.
Yes. More specifically, caved. No, he didn't. He didn't cave to social pressure. He caved to Tom Hardy. So yeah, that was a really fun thing. And then I remember another friend of mine said they wanted to, but didn't get into being an extra for the new Matrix movie, which involved, and they were like, "Oh, it's so exciting! You know, like the new Matrix, it's filming downtown. We really want to be part of it." And then turns out the schedule just didn't work out for them. And so it actually worked out really well for them because, as it turns out, the scene they needed like 200 people for was essentially to run up and down a hill near Market Street downtown about like 20 times.
No.
Yeah, they just needed like, and then like in the midst of this, like was Keanu Reeves, like just supposed to like, I guess like he was like, I haven't seen Matrix 3,
Oh,
so I don't know
okay.
if there's a scene
So you didn't
where
even
like
know
Keanu
what
Reeves is
scene it
standing
is.
there. I'm not sure what, like, if you watch the movie, it's like very clear this is the scene where they got the 200 extras to run up and down a hill in San Francisco near Market
Yeah, I
Street.
feel like that might stand
But
out a bit.
they'll definitely stand out, but they did take it like several times, and like they didn't even get to see Keanu Reeves very much. They were just like, too much cardio.
Well, rip to those people.
Yeah, I mean they gotta. I mean, living in San Francisco, if you walk around a lot, you do have quads and glutes of absolute steel and calves. Like your legs are just really good from walking up and down everywhere. But still, like I feel like I would just die. I think I would have just died if I had been part of that group. Because no one normal who has like an office job or works or basically isn't an Olympic athlete or doesn't run
No one
marathons
does
for a living.
cardio.
Cardio, what is that?
No one does cardio.
What is this cardio which you speak? Yeah, the thing that my partner does when he like runs around the pond every morning, that's not cardio. That's just him stalking the goslings.
Called out.
Actually, I do cardio.
Sure you
No,
do,
I think you
Hexy.
think
We
you.
believe you.
Yeah, I think you think you do cardio, but really, really is something else. I mean, cardio is honestly just a nefarious scam.
Yeah, what are you doing? Converting fat into gas? Weird. I'm storing all of mine for a long winter.
Because Corey's a mustelid. I think mustelids hibernate, right? Like weasels hibernate. Weasels
I
and
believe
badgers
so.
hibernate. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just like a bear, I'm gonna like clog myself up with cheese and then mostly just lay on the ground for several months.
Did you know that bears can give birth during hibernation?
Yes.
That is so wild. Just wake up and be like, oh, yeah, babies, what's up? Hey, all right, let's get back to it.
Yeah, they're not actually completely asleep the whole time.
It's kind of like a trance.
Yeah.
Still pretty funny, though.
One thing that I think is funny to watch is hibernating turtles waking up.
Oh my gosh. I have never seen a hibernating turtle wake
Because
up.
it's
What is
just
that
like
like?
in ice. And then it just like very slowly comes back to life. It's just like, you should be dead. You were cryogenically frozen.
Oh, I've seen a frog come back that
Oh,
way. It was so weird. It was just like, "Eh," and then eventually blink, blink, and then twitch, twitch, and then it frog again. And I'm like, how?
how you frog again?
How? How are you a frog?
Oh,
You
oh,
should
I
be a
learned
little
a thing
frog people.
about frogs and toads a couple weeks ago. Well, my friend Featherweight was looking for art reference. He was
Huh?
googling toad thumbs, and so of course I started looking at toad thumbs, and I learned that they have like a puffy bit. Hold on here. Let's just they got like a puffy bit on the back of their thumb called the nuptial
Mhm.
pad, and when frogs are mating, they go like a little backpack and latch their hands together in front and spreads the pheromones. Like,
Do they have to hang on?
they have
Is
to
it
hang
like,
on for the sexy times, like a little backpack.
wait? Just like imagining. Uh, oh God. Uh, yeah. Ah, animals are weird. Animals are so weird. I One of the things I like to do is before I go to bed, I like watching something that will get my dopamine levels up, like, or something that makes me feel warm and fuzzy, so that I have warm and fuzzy dreams as much as possible. I don't even know if that really works. It just makes me feel nice before I go to bed. Anyway, I recently watched a. Have you seen the kitten ambush video that's
Yes.
been making the rounds? Oh my god, hot diggity dog!
Oh no, I could only save one.
I can only say, I can't save all of you. A SpongeBob thing. 5 minutes later, just like 13 kids in a tactical Honda. Like the tactical Honda wasn't made for this. Like apparently this guy is a shooting professional, and he was going to the range to practice. And so he's just got 13 kittens in the back of his Honda with like rounds of ammunition and various other tactical gear. It's just like, oh gosh. There's another video of him like washing a cat, watching one of the kittens in like a kiddie pool. Kitten is not having it. But sometimes you learn about random things this way. That's what I meant to say. Like, oh gosh.
Like there might be an army of kittens in every bush on the roadside.
I mean, if that's the America that we're gonna get, I mean, if this is the campaign promise, I'll vote for you. I don't even care if you're not my
Yes, I'm
state.
running for the Rhinoceros Party, and I vote, or my platform is beyond sex, drugs, and rock and roll, that there will be a kitten everywhere you stop along the roadside.
I mean that, but also like a taco truck on every corner. I think that was another like 2016 threat from the Republican Party, and I'm like, why is this a sir? Have you not had tacos? Do you not understand how they are one of the best things in the world? So yeah, I if you're gonna run on a platform of a kitten, a baker's dozen of kittens in every bush, and a taco truck on every corner, like I can't see how you're gonna lose. I mean, for one, if we establish a fund to take care of those kittens, this will really help with like all of the overcrowded shelters for sure.
Now I'm thinking about like Victoria's taco problem.
Victoria has a taco problem.
A little bit of too much taco density in a region, which I think causes the split in the business. Like it's hard when there's a taco place and then across the street two other taco places. Like one of them moved recently, but now we're getting kind of a problem with Korean fried chicken. There's a new place in town. It's like
Yes.
there's
Is it 647?
no,
Graham told me about 647.
that's a uh
Or is it 649? I forget.
that's yeah, it's the lottery number place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh no, there's a 649, chicken 649, chicken on the run, Chimac, Thunderbird, and this new place that we were gonna try, but they were closed. And it's just like I don't know what level of density Victoria can sustain Korean chicken wise. Like we have our giant board game cafe, and on the block north of it is another board game cafe that just opened. Like I just don't
Oh,
know how
I
much
don't know.
Catan one city can have.
Actually, here's my argument for two of them as a person who used to play Catan. So I used to play Catan,
Uh
and I'm
huh. Then
going
what
to
happened?
underline that. And then I started playing with people who who decided to do futures. So, um,
So like playing like second level chess, kind of like
well, basically,
next
it's
turn
like
this is gonna happen, and then this is gonna happen.
so. If well, basically, like if I get wheat, next time I get wheat, I'm going to give it to you,
Oh, like being
and then the
Monopoly
next
married.
time, yeah. And not only that, but also just like I don't know, like card counting and like just like really worrying some there was a lot of just and I do respect them. My friends are just they're very intelligent people, and it is admirable the way that they can try to, in essence, create a real world economic environment within the confines of this tiny little game. That being said, I'm not here for like I refuse to play Catan with futures. Like I refuse if you don't have the goods right away,
Yeah,
I'm not interested in making a deal. Um,
which should always be your call. Like,
yeah, and I feel like that's just a good house rule because that way I love this owl that you have made by the way.
oh,
It makes
oh,
me
thank
very
you.
pleased. Yes, it pleases me. Um, so yeah, I think that there should be a game cafe for the people who do like to have futures and also like to play things like I don't know Democker and other very intense games like that, or like to take small games and make them very intense. Oh God, there was one game I forget what it's called. It's a game that you basically plant and trade and grow beans. Bonanza.
Yep.
It's really fun. I enjoy that game quite a lot. With this, again, futures.
Future beans.
Future
I'm
beans.
promising you my future beans.
It's meant to be a 40-minute game at tops. I was sitting there 3 hours later wondering what was wrong with my life. Like, why? Why has this game lasted for multiple hours?
It's like, does everyone
I
just
just
bring
want to
their
know.
accountant to the table with them?
I guess so. I don't know. I was just sitting there being like, I just wanted. I just have like 3 red beans, yo. Like,
Uh, okay, my
I
problem
just.
with Catan are is two separate kind of issues. One is people not wanting to trade because they fear they're going to get screwed over. It's not even like the future trading. It's just like, you want to do something with this wheat. I'm not going to give it to you. And then the other one is people not wanting to compete. So everyone's
Oh,
just kind of playing by themselves
oh,
because they
that's.
don't want to upset anyone
Oh,
by ruining their plans. Like, if you're going for longest road, you seed the way for the other person that's going for longest road. It's just like, oh, you can't cut people off. Can't cut anyone out of wheat, and you can't cut people off, and it's not really fun.
yeah. There's also the awkwardness of the one person who keeps somehow rolling a 7 and keeps putting the robber on your stuff. And it's just like, but why? No one, I'm not even ahead.
Yeah, no
This
one
is
likes to
not
be
this.
targeted.
Yeah. So yeah, Catan. I think it's a great like intro game for the board game world. I do think you have to be thoughtful about who you play with though, because if it's the people who really like to play, um, games that mimic the actual workings of German Parliament, this could be a problem.
Talking about Schindler.
No, 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 no. I'm talking about Democker.
Oh, okay.
I think that's his name anyway. Like the people who will like I have a friend who's really, really into board games, and this is the friend who we play Gloomhaven with.
Yeah.
And they I remember visiting them in college, and they came into my partner because he's my partner's like one of his best friends, who was the best man at our wedding. By the time he was a rather distraught 20-year-old walking into the room and weeping because the game of diplomacy he was playing in house was just not okay. People were not doing okay things. I'm like, oh no. I love games. I don't know if I love games like this much later on, like 10 years later, gets into Magic the Gathering.
and
But
then you're promising people like future wraths and
future, I mean, that's a commander, isn't it?
yes. It's just like, if you do that, I'll wrath you in 2 turns.
Does anyone have, like, well, I mean, there's a mild bit of politicking that should go on at any commander table, I think. I think that's totally fine. Um, but I also think that I don't know, like, Magic has now that I come to think of it, there's something about Magic that keeps it from becoming as like future futures, et cetera, as like Catan. I think because when you're playing Magic, um, things are so variable and also like I don't know. It's. I think it also gets rid of that one problem that you have, where it's like, oh, no one wants to actually win, or like people are too like,
Yeah,
yeah.
does help with that. Although, like, with Commander for casual games, I have played with the rule of like the no pointing, the no one gets ganged up on rule,
Ooh, I don't know about
which
that.
can be an issue with people who actually want to play. But it's like if you play with the same set of people and they always bring like the same relentless rat stick, let's say like that, and you're just
Mhm.
like, I hate them. I'm gonna kill them first.
Oh, I mean, I'm not going to say I haven't resorted to that before, but only because I really hate the art for Child of Alara. I I hate it. I hate it so. Have you seen it? It is a glowing incandescent child with non-glowing bones coming out of the ground like some kind of strange, horrific creature. It is a strange, horrific creature. Based on that art alone, I basically will try to eliminate that player because I'm like, I do not want to look at that art. I refuse. I refuse.
It's kind of like the opposite of never killing a dog.
Always kill Child of Alara. I remember the first time seeing it, just being like, nope.
Yeah, I think my first nope reaction was like Elish Norn, maybe. Just like, oh,
Oh,
that's muscle. It's like Machop.
oh god, the body horror that is Pokemon design. Um,
So what do
yeah,
you mean
like
the
oh god,
slashes aren't decorative? What do you mean the skin rips open? Ugh.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
I'm very distressed right now.
Like I got like my little gulp in here that Heather gave me. That's an inside out
Oh
stomach.
no, I
Yeah,
don't want to
Gulpin's an inside out
know.
stomach.
I don't want
It's my favorite.
to. Corey, why? Corey,
A
why
little
did you tell
round
me this?
friend.
This is cursed information.
Not like
I know that.
Scrafty who wears its own skin's clothing. Come on.
Oh my god. I mean, there was a while where I was freaked out by like so Sylveon is one of my favorite Pokemon. Not just
Oh,
because Go Trans rights, but also in the anime, Sylveon is a uh, like there's a whole storyline of like the Eevee is like super close with its trainer, doesn't want to let them down, and because they have such a strong friendship, they bloom into a Sylveon like in the midst of battle, and it's
yeah.
just like yeah, so beautiful. Um, and and then later on, I realized like those are flesh bows. Those bows are made of flesh.
Yes.
This is distressing.
Oh my
I
god.
still love Sylveon, but I think about like the bows and then
You
the
just
ribbons that are also flesh
you
and can
touch it.
move.
What was I? I was talking to Ian yesterday. Right, he thinks Blue from Blue's Clues doesn't have fur.
What? How?
He's pretty sure that Blue from Blue's Clues is a hairless dog.
Oh, like one of those Mexican dogs. I forget what they're called.
Like a crested,
Uh, there's also like a crested Chinese as
yeah.
well, but they do have a crest,
No.
which means that they do have some hair.
But yeah, no,
Um,
it's just it's like because I don't know. It's like when you see a cartoon animal like a Pokemon or something, you just kind of assume they have fur, but then you see the realistic version, it's like that looks really wrong, and you realize maybe
my,
you want them to have like rubbery flesh.
I think it depends on the Pokemon. Like, so I will admit, my new love, Smoliv or Smoliv, as it were.
What do you think they
I
smell like?
I
Sorry,
think
that's a
I think they smell like an olive tree. Like because the olive has not yet been pickled, right?
mm. Okay, that makes sense. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
are they rank? Like,
No, I think it
are
smells
they
like a fresh olive
juicy?
because
Do they have a pimento?
no. I think they just smell like a fresh olive because olives need to be processed in order to be eaten. So I really do think it's just
Do you
a
think
fresh olive.
they're like harvested the same way and then crushed in a press?
So it's been through Twitter. I have been led to believe, and this is a by I think far by far I think one of the least terrible things you can believe due to Twitter. That only the olive part is harvested. So I
They
think once it's ready
behead
to
them.
go, so no, the head's like down here. There's like a hat. So they're all dehatted. Uh, so hats off, as it were, if you're a small olive and it's harvesting season. Um, but yeah, I think it's just they just do that. It does bother me a little bit that they have named the piggy one lechonk.
Yep.
Um, I mean, on the other hand, I am amused that apparently millennials have finally like we've taken over the Pokemon naming conventions because Chonk and Small are now in the
Yes.
Pokemon lexicon.
It's finally Pokemon for us.
Yes, a Pokemon we can believe in. Um, but yeah, it does bother me a little bit because I saw it and I was like, wait a minute. Why does this sound delicious to me? Oh no.
The first time I saw Lechonk was a fan art, but they were in a grape cluster. And I was like,
Oh,
that doesn't make any sense. Why is this a pig grape? But seeing more, I was like, oh, it's just like a normal type Pokemon. And someone was like, maybe riffing on the Final Fantasy grapes.
oh, I
But
see.
yeah, it was a very confusing time when that update came because first off, I was like, are these new starters? Because they only ever like announced the starters.
Are they new starters? I don't know anything about them except that I think they're all Italian inspired, right? Or is it Spanish?
Well, we've already got like Weed Cat and the apple dinosaur.
Oh, Sprigatito. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that particular one is Italian. Is this like the Spain Pokemon's version of Spain?
I think they're all Italian.
Oh,
Didn't they preview Wooloo? I don't know if they previewed Wooloo. It's been
I
a
thought
long
Wooloo was
time.
I thought Wooloo was already out.
Well, when they announced the previous generation, they might have when they did like what is it? Tepig, Scorbunny,
Ah,
Sobble. Did they also announce Wooloo?
um, yeah. Iris of Ether says all of these are Spanish, so they're all Spain.
Ah,
Yeah,
fine.
it just means that we're gonna get I don't know, sentient jar marinara once we hit Italy. Actually, Italy will just be pasta shapes, and I'm looking forward to that because there are far too many pasta shapes.
Gonna get like some focaccia.
It's some focaccia, but there's going to be like a farfalle. There's totally going to be a farfalle Pokemon because it's a bow tie,
Cacio
and then
Pepe sounds like a Pokemon already.
that Kachu. Gosh, how do you Pokemonify that? I love. Recently discovered what pasta cacio e pepe was, and I love it as someone who
It's
loves
like
black pepper.
slimy, peppery pasta. It's great.
It's just like cheesy pepper pasta, and I'm like, this is the best thing in the world, and I love it. All of the regional unknown are shaped like pasta, but like real pasta, like gemelli,
Yeah,
and
well, it's
like
like there's okay. So for the New York set, they gave us like sentient garbage. That's fine.
yeah, that's
So
totally
they
on
could
brand.
definitely like have. a ghost pasta plate. Yeah. And
I
they
love
made
that New York
like
is
the
garbage. Like,
tea
welcome to
ghost.
America. The tea ghost is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, there's got to be like a regional tangela, yeah? Where that's just a bowl of pasta.
But it's a plant. But
Pasta
again,
with,
Tegala and the evolved form. I'm like, those are flesh noodles, right?
I mean, I can accept a flesh noodle.
Those are like
Because
Twi'lek
there are,
thingies.
yeah, I can accept a flesh noodle. A flesh bow, though, I think disturbs me a bit more.
Tangrowth, thank you. I'd say flesh bow.
Flesh lasagna. What are fingers if not flesh noodles? You know, you're right. You're right, Hexy.
But I prefer bone out in my pasta. Don't like pasta bones.
Oh, I made pasta fagioli over the weekend, and it was so good. I was really worried because they didn't have ham hocks at my farmer's market, so I got a bunch of guinciale. I don't know Italian very well. I'm sorry, but I got a bunch of that, and then it smelled real hammy in my kitchen for a while. My partner was like, "Do not like the ham," and I'm like, "I'm sorry,"
Now I'm
but
imagining, sorry, a prosciutto Pokemon. It's just like a
I'm
really,
prosciutto
really
Pokemon.
flat, like singular dimensional Pokemon.
It's prosciutto.
Split.
It's prosciuttomon. No, that's like no, that's Digimon. Prosciuttomon.
I'll help you, kids, and then it evolves and it has a gun. Yeah.
Yes, it evolves into like a whole um oh what not prosciutto it into like Iberico, a whole thing of Iberico ham that's holding a gun. But no, instead of a bone sticking out, it's just a gun sticking out of the ham.
No, no. Okay, it's from the Digimon set where the kids and the Digimon fuse. So it's like a human prosciutto hybrid.
This is distressing. But
They
why?
look
I
hideous,
didn't.
but they smell amazing.
So fun story about Iberico ham. Um, so for Christmas, we went to go see my in-laws who live in upstate New York, and my mother-in-law had gone to Costco and saw that they were selling entire hanks of Iberico ham. And she was like, "You know what? This will be great. It'll be like a fun thing. I'll get this and it'll be a nice thing to nosh on for the family." And as part of the Iberico ham package, you also not only got a whole leg, but also like a stand with a clampy bit,
Yep.
and also oh no, and also a whatchamacallit. Sorry, just
I think
undoing this
it's the
stick.
same ham kit we used for Desert Bus for the ham father.
Okay, so question: did your kit also come with an unthreaded screw and extremely dull knife?
I believe so.
Yeah, so we got that. And I think ham. I think that she also didn't reckon on like I don't think she's had Iberico ham before, or at least didn't fully understand that Iberico ham is very big. And Christmas at the time was about 8 people. And 8 people, like three of them were children. So 5 adults and 3 children cannot simply finish a whole thing of Iberico ham. And so eventually what happened at the end of the night, she was looking kind of like a little panicked and a little desperate. So I'm like, okay, just chop me off a brick of ham. And so we went in with that knife that my brother-in-law spent, I think, 2 hours sharpening.
No.
And she cut me a brick of ham. And like, thank you. We just came home with it. And then I just, for like a month, I was just shaving little bits of Iberico ham to eat. And to this day, I still don't know what happened to that ham. I'll have to ask her at some point. Like, did you freeze it? What happened to it? Did you make like a stew?
Oh.
Wait, you so y'all had a ham thing? I missed this.
Yes, we did have a ham thing, and the ham made it all the way through the week. Like it was there were people snacking on that ham, like approximately 40 people snacking on the ham, and it still made it through.
So you okay, I was about to ask how many people were available to nosh on the ham, and that seems like a reasonable amount of people for
Yes.
one
But for
for
for most of the bits, it was just about like 6 to 8 people.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, random trivia, how's it going? Yeah, I think the thing. So, did you have any things that were like on the side for the ham? Because I don't think we actually had anything. It was just ham
Yeah, it was
and
just the
and
ham.
crackers. Oh, interesting.
Just that. Yep. Yeah, at certain times throughout the run, it was just time for ham, and we'd all have a little bit of ham. I don't want to like describe what happened because I feel like you have to just watch the compilation. But
Fair, fair. Oh, it was a desert bus thing. Okay, I
yes,
see.
so it
I
was
see.
all broadcast.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm working on an iron pot Alexander planter for Desert Bus this year.
Yes, I saw you doing the etching.
Yeah, I finished the more intricate etching and now I'm doing the borders right now around the etching. And he looks a little small, and he's actually more the size of the Jar Baron.
Which I
Um,
also love. You can give him like little kicky legs. You can put him on a little step.
I can put him on a little step. True, I can have it so that if he sits on the step, he can have little kicky legs if I wanted to go that route.
Yeah,
But I feel like I still want just to give him the proportions of iron of our big round boy.
yeah. Ah, I love that game.
I love that game as well. The lore is very deep and very ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for. Oh, yeah, thanks, Beowulf, for popping the link there so I
Yee.
can check it out. Oh yeah, Iris of Aether's um craft is it's so good. It's just so good.
I every time there's an update, I'm just like, it's my boy, my boy. Look, like this is my cat boy, and this my Wayland Yutani boy,
I just
and
was like,
there's
my
my
cheese fam,
yeah, your
my
cheese boy is there
my
with his big
cheese boy
cheese.
with his big cheese hammer and his cheese wife with his cheese whiz. Oh God, I you know that if we ever do anything where I get the opportunity to like play another and like play again like within a similar setting, I'm totally bringing back the cheese fam.
Ah,
That was really really funny though because as we were going through that Candlekeep mystery, I was like, okay, I'm leaving the cheese at the hearth as my family demands, and then we find another hearth, and I'm like, oh wait, am I supposed to put it at this hearth instead? And
what
then
if I split the
Nelson's just
cheese in half? Will the ghosts be
like,
happy?
do I need to split this cheese with my cheese axe? And Nelson's like, no, it's fine. Oh, Ulrich was such a good boy.
Ah, Chaos Shredder. Yes. The Hamelier versus the Hamfather. The thing about Desert Bus is everything kind of evolves together. Like the crew bounces stuff off of like the VST. Sort of. It's combined. That's why James commissioned a cellist to come in and play the Godfather theme during his Hamfather bit. Like that wasn't like pre-planned. We weren't like, oh, it's gonna be Hamfather. But then the VST said Hamfather, and so then Yes. Yes.
I'm
And
excited to watch
we're all
this.
here for this.
Just imagine James wearing a suit in a swivel chair, slowly turning around, petting a small ham.
Ham.
Just a small ham. You come to me on the day of my ham's
Oh,
wedding.
there was one in like Moonbase Mark 3. There was a bit we had to do, and we bought this huge salami, and so just a real chub. And
The
that's
technical
what I'm
term for
imagining James
it.
petting was just this big salami.
Oh my god. So good. I love that. That would be, oh man, I need to find this. No, Ian dressed as Ernst Stavro Blofeld petting. Okay, but then at that point you'd be needing to play the Bond theme and you need to get like a French horn in for that.
No one's got time for that. We'd probably just give Ian a kazoo.
I'm just imagining the Bond theme now on a kazoo. Or actually, no, an electric guitar. I can see someone with electric guitar playing the Bond theme very well while Ian turns around
Mm.
petting a ham as Blofeld. How do we get to supervillain pet cured meats? Look, if you're gonna hang out with me and Corey, I feel like this is only a natural evolution of our conversation.
Honestly, when we're not talking about food, we're on our way to talking about food.
Food is delightful. So
Everyone,
speaking
everyone
of
loves food.
so speaking of Godfather things that I and Boston things intersecting, I haven't found a cannoli I've liked yet.
I think I've
Um,
only ever had one cannoli, if I'm thinking about the correct thing.
yeah, a ricotta sweet creamy filling with like a
Yeah. I remember
fried.
it being like intimidating
Yeah, that's not incorrect.
because
I
it's open
think
at both ends.
it is, but unlike a taco, it doesn't have like the sides. The sides are curled in on themselves, and so there's like not a great way to like hold it. It's
Especially if they have
brittle.
like a garnish on top. I remember the one I had was like a pistachio thing and it had
Oh,
like
was it
stuff.
dipped on both ends?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dessert taquitos. But I've had dessert taquitos with like cinnamon in them.
I've never had a dessert taquito. I do love taquitos though.
Yeah, like basically like a churro mix, but in a taquito.
Oh heck, that sounds great.
Thank you, Thor Sokar, for the salami bit. Hmm. What else is food? Hmm. You said you hadn't found cannoli. There was a really good Mexican place that I went to there when I was at PAX East. That was
Oh
really
wow.
nice.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't found a Mexican place here that I've been like, ooh, quite yet. Um, but I'm also I don't know. California just also has really good Mexican food. So
I
I just
I
don't know.
crave Cali burritos like 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Like I like just drop me in Mission and
Have you been to San Francisco in the
yes.
Mission?
Yes.
Oh, it's so good. What was your taqueria of choice? El Farolito or Cancun?
I don't recall. I just remember I
Okay.
was just like, okay, I gotta go have beef tongue. And also, I went to San Diego on a different trip.
Oh, nice.
So that's also like a taco burrito experience thing. Like the. And I've been to Mexico, frankly. Uh, it just, hook me up to some horchata and just bury me in bean sauce. Like, beef tongue. Ugh,
um,
mm.
so there's a lot of really good like Cuban and Dominican Republic places near me, actually. So we've been having a lot of fun with like Cuban sandwiches and mofongos and like so good. That's been a whole other thing.
I don't think I've
Um,
ever eaten Cuban.
oh, it's really good.
We have Jamaican, a lot of Jamaican.
Yeah, there's a couple of good Jamaican places around here too. There's one like local chain called Jamaican Me Hungry, and it's very, very good. Their jerk chicken is fantastic. Okay, I'm just gonna bring it down. That's another row completed.
Woo!
Ooh, we're making effort. We're making with a bit of effort some progress. What is that? What is this life even?
Who knows?
Gosh. Tiny pinfish come over here. Boop.
Sneep. Those are cute little snippers.
Thank you. Yeah, they're also fun.
Oh,
Snip, snip, snip.
yeah.
I'm gonna get that little snip action here. They're very satisfying. Yeah, I got this embroidery kit. It's apparently like a fancy schmancy embroidery kit from Japan, and it's got like handmade nonsense. So there's needles in here that are like hand sharpened by Japanese
Ooh,
artisans, and this thing that I think is actually made out of deer leather, and it's a measuring tape thingamabob, which is
nice.
fun. Yeah. Although I think this is in centimeters, which not inches, which is like, damn you, but that's
I
okay.
don't see a problem.
And then these guys, which are, um, yeah, they come from some remote village where they like used to make like samurai swords, and now they also make kitchen equipment and shears. You can see that little stamp on the back. And
Mm,
this is the little case. And what's actually really fun about this as well is, oh yeah, and then this like little threading thing. This is the top. And
that is
let me see, I
very
can raise
good.
this a bit, but you can see that this actually comes
The
off.
hook, the hoop,
It
the hook,
becomes, the hoop comes off,
real
and
hoop.
so does
Okay.
this bottom bit here.
Oh,
And
huh,
you got yourself an embroidery. It's very cute. I got it because I'm like, this design is amazing. I love it so much.
huh.
And it tells you how many centimeters that is right there. So
That's a good size.
yeah, it's a really brilliant design. I just look at this and like this. I'm just a sucker for amazing product design. I feel like this is one of the best design things ever, and just it's very Japanese in that way. Oh yeah, and then you get this tiny little adorable pincushion, which makes me so happy. These little needles for basting.
I'm impressed.
Thank you. I'm very satisfied. This is one of the other colorway is a blue, but I just felt like the pink was so cute. getting back to this dude. But yeah, other than food and stuff, I've just been trying to write some stuff for. I'm working on like a five D&D 5e supplement called Cozy Classes. I've been doing it for a while, but I have the first three classes about done, and I'm working on the fourth class. It's all like cottage core beats D&D, and I'm very excited.
Because as you said, you love twee things.
Oh god, I love twee things. Have I not shown you how much I love twee things? Let me show you all the twee things that I love. Uh, so yeah, it's just incurably cute, and I'm totally fine with that. But yeah, so I'm one of them is a fabric artist, artificer, and I'm very proud of that class. I think it really captures like making things that help to um, buff your friends, but can also like pump up a battlefield, which is really fun. But the
Just imagining someone dragging like a war loom to the battlefield, like a full cart.
whole war loom.
Yeah,
I mean, the way that I probably would like say like you can definitely manipulate fabric and thread with magic, like as long as you know like how it's made. I think because I think for the final big spell I have animate object, but it does include um items that are being worn so long as they're stitched. Like they like for example like leather armor, it won't fully come apart, but there is like some stitching that goes into say like fastening one piece to another, so you could like undo that stitching and just have that leather fall apart. And then their socks and then their underwear could also like unravel and then like re-ravel to form like grappling cocoons and things like that, so that's always really fun. um, and then what else, working on a tea druid that still needs some finessing because I feel like they're not doing too much during combat, and D&D is so combat focused.
yeah.
It's really annoying. But I love my Pact of the Hearth Warlock, which is a lot of fun. You basically get a tiny Baba Yaga hut that's themed to whatever your patron is. But yeah, I finally found an artist who I think is perfect for the job. They're also very excited about the project, so we're
Good.
working on stuff together, and I'm very excited.
You got a lot of stuff on the go.
Yeah, I also have Our Home is Trash, which is the other RPG I'm working on, but it's not a D&D supplement. It's just a straight up like Grant Howitt inspired like cute game where you play a bunch of trash animals trying to save your landfill home on Staten Island. Unfortunately, I don't think I can add Pete Davidson by name to the game.
Uh, let's see. Peter, Rock, uh, David, Kingston, Rock Kingston.
Rock Kingston. I need to be a Warlock of the Hearth. Yeah, the class is really cool. I'm still playtesting it. Um, and which is to say I'm looking for people to help me playtest it. But yeah, it's really fun because your house will like at the very highest level. I was like, what would be the coolest thing a house can do at a very high level? I'm like, it can turn into a mech. So you basically pilot it from your porch and it turns into a mech and can smash things. It's very fun. But yeah, I'm currently at the. I think I've play tested Our Home is Trash enough to my liking. I'm pretty convinced that it functions okay,
Mm-hmm.
and is still fun. So I did find an illustrator, and I'm currently in queue with Laura Hirschromer, who's going to edit it for me maybe sometime in September. So I'm like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah. Oh,
gives me plenty of time to learn how to do layout on my own. So um, that's totally fine for me. I'm in no rush. But yeah, I'm probably gonna just get these like self-publish these on itch.
I
And
was gonna ask.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been picking up a lot of like solo play stuff on itch lately.
Oh, nice.
Actually, gonna have hopefully featherweight back. Not next week, but the next week, the week after. Let me see. Yes, or from our Delve, which is a map making game.
Mhm. Oh, that's fun. Yeah, there's actually another RPG. Back when I thought I would do more streaming, I did get an embroidery RPG. It's called Amending.
By
It's
Shing
very, very yes.
Core. Sawdust Bear is one of my favorite people on the planet.
That's so cool.
Uh, yeah, no, I was thinking amending would work really cool for like a stream. I'm not sure about like the because it's about a relationship,
Mhm.
but and then streaming stuff can get if you're doing something that's like emotional where you have to be
Yeah.
kind of invested in that and it
Yes.
can be a little awkward if you have the sads. But
Absolutely.
yeah, do you have like the physical mending?
I do. I
Oh,
do.
did you back the Kickstarter? Yeah.
I did. I did, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play this on stream. And then I was like, I guess I don't know. It's hard for me to stream by myself. That's what I've discovered. Like I really like having someone else around to talk to, like you or
Yeah.
other really cool
Well,
people.
if you wanted to stream amending and do all of the emotional labor for that, then sign me up.
Okay, cool. I mean, that's a thought. Another really cool solo RPG that came out is 100-Year-Old Vampire, which I also grabbed
I'm
and
not
looks
familiar
really,
with
really
that
fun.
one.
Oh gosh, let me grab it real quick. It's
Actually,
right behind
we
me.
are set up for
Oh,
a
never
break,
mind then.
so
Yeah.
you can look for it, but we'll be off camera for a brief time while we play some messages for the chat.
Woo.
So everyone enjoy these ads or information about upcoming streams and the Loading Ready Run store. Hello,
Yes.
YouTube. Hello again, everybody. We're back at Can't Draw Horses Club, Embroidery Edition, with Michelle working on Owl
Working on Owl. Working on little Owl Stuffy.
and Corey not working at all. All right.
You love to see it. Can't embroider horse club.
It's accurate.
Yeah, that's fair. Neither of us are embroidering horses at the moment.
Yep. Everything functioning as normal.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh
did
yeah, it
you
turns out
track down your 100-year-old vampire?
actually it's a 1,000-year-old vampire. Excuse me.
What?
Yeah, very old,
It's like
very
antediluvian.
seasoned vampire. Um, so yeah, this came out earlier this year, and I picked up this copy from local bookstore, and it seems like it's actually I've been hearing like good things about it. So this is a role playing game by Tim Hutchings. I love the artistic like decisions about what was printed here. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so
cool. Yeah,
it's very, very
I'm
cool.
sold.
It's very cool,
That's fun.
and it's just you. So that's one of the reasons why I thought this would be really good for a stream because it's just me flipping back and forth in this book about vampires. And it's just a really beautiful book as well. It actually reminds me a lot of the treatment that the new fifth edition version of Vampire the Masquerade did.
Yes, with all of the
Yeah.
like letters in
Hmm.
stuff.
A lot of the letters, a lot of the like printed versions of found objects.
Or the redacted statements from like the Vatican,
Oh
Vatican
yeah,
II. The other thing. Can't words now for some reason. Vampire
I can
escapes
certainly
me.
I can certainly let you know there was not another Vatican. There's only been two of them so far. What's up with that, Vatican, huh?
Huh? Hmm?
Can't you give us a new update?
Where's your white smoke now, Vatican?
Oh God. The I think the other day I saw like a Vox video on like dressing the Pope and how it
Oh.
means a lot of things, like clothing decisions depending on like the background of the Pope and so on and so forth. It's very political
Mm-hmm.
as you know dressing any head of state would be. Also a head of a religion.
As
And
much
I
as I
saw
didn't like the previous pope, I liked his little gold slippers.
I really I think as far as popes go, I gotta say that the current one's my fave.
That pope, yep.
Um,
Pope
yeah,
Francis really doing
Pope
doing
Francis.
good out there, I think.
I think I mean there's definitely some things I wish he were more progressive on, but a definitely step up from Nazi Pope for sure. 10 out of 10 recommend. Still, and I mean the fact that he is also a Jesuit Pope is interesting.
Yep.
Um, a lot of a lot of folk like one of the things I learned about in Catholic school that I think not all Catholic schools really teach is that there are in fact like different monastic denominations and factions of their own like ideas of
Oh,
what Catholicism ought to have and be and whatnot, like the Benedictines versus the Nazarene versus the Jesuit versus et cetera, et cetera. And you're just like, oh, okay.
that's weird. Like I
There's
went
a
to
lot happening here.
like a private Protestant school, and they definitely covered like Jesuits and Franciscans and stuff like that. It's just like these are different monastic orders, and I don't think anyone covered that there's thousands of denominations, but like we definitely got
Mm-hmm.
history of branches of the church. Like, do the Catholics are just like ignore ignore the Orthodox things that say certain things. Eastern Orthodox,
Yeah.
not us. Nope, nope, don't look. Pope,
Don't look
anti-pope,
over
nope,
there.
no such thing.
Don't. Yeah. I think like a lot of the Catholic education I received was very much just like, don't look, don't look at the other denominations behind the curtain. And it was so awkward. Like I didn't know what being Jewish or what Judaism was until I was in high school when I started dating my first boyfriend who was Jewish. And just a second, I dropped my pincushion.
Oh no,
It's okay.
baby, poke you down.
We found it. But yeah, I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what being Jewish was, or let alone what being Muslim was, or anything else. I had no idea what the differences was between a Presbyterian and Episcopalian. Um, Actually, still don't quite know all of my different Protestant denominations off the top of my head.
It's okay. There's
Um,
thousands.
yes, I was like, I don't. There's so many of you.
Like the only people that
Um,
have to know what happened with the Anabaptist branch or the Baptists, like it's fine. It's fine. Just like Martin Luther, blah blah blah. Different groups now.
but yeah, I not knowing about Judaism made it super awkward when I was a kid and we were reading both the Diary of Anne Frank and
The
Count the
bookseller or
Stars.
something. Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. Are they like other Catholics? Are they other Catholics out there?
Oh.
They're just being persecuted. Why?
No.
So
That's very
yeah,
cute.
9-year-old Michelle was very confused because no one explained to her what the Star of David meant, why it was so important.
Oh no. Why are we being
Yeah.
mean to the other Catholics? Oh.
Why are we being mean to the other Catholics? I don't understand. Well, I don't know. Maybe Nazis were also. I think Nazis were also anti-Catholic. I don't remember. They were just terrible people who were. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely didn't realize everything until like high school. And gosh, that was a really funny. Oh no!
Oh
Wait,
no.
accidentally threaded it through that one. It's fine. I can just undo it and rethread. We have the technology. We did a world history, world religions course when I was in high school, and it was like kind of like blasé about things. Like we kind of learned about other religions, and then we had to go find people who were part of those other religions, and then like ask them
Cold call them.
questions. Kind of. And so one of the groups in my grade, like they got Hanukkah, and so they saw somebody with a giant inflatable menorah on their front lawn, and so they started taking pictures of it for the class. And of course, the family inside is like,
Oh no.
"Hi, can we help you, please?" And they're like, "Oh no, we're just doing this for a project. I'm so sorry. We're not actually here to do an anti-Semitism. I'm sorry." And then they were like, "Oh, would you like to come in and like learn more about our faith and all this other stuff?" And so they went in. They fed them latkes and like other things. And
Oh.
what a lovely family! I'm just gonna say that. What a lovely family.
Yeah,
And
I'd like to
so
do
yeah, they
some religious investigation of some latkes.
yes. But yeah, no, it was just really so awkward that my friend that like our school just did not set us up to learn about other religions very well to the extent that we were just like, it's a menorah. Hark, a menorah. Let us investigate.
Yeah, I think at least like I feel like the uh comparison between Protestant and Judaism is a little easier because of the the ceremonial like lighting of candles, stuff about the temple. We read Leviticus, that kind of thing. Uh,
Yeah.
it just yeah, it's a very different experience from my own. It's like the church was very big part of my life until like about 13 when I
Hmm.
started public school, and then finally when I was like an adult, not having to go to church with the family.
My mother always gave me the option of either paying attention to mass or reading the Bible, and I chose to read the Bible. And I just gotta say, as a kid, you hit up Song of Solomon, and you gotta get a lot of questions.
Mom, what's sex? Uh,
Why is he comparing her neck
bosoms.
to a tower? What are the why are her teeth like sheep?
Oh no, I got like an old timey lunchbox, like the orange ones with the big lid, and it was full of pencil crayons. And then
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
got to have blank sheets of printer paper, and I got to just sit there and doodle until like if there was no Sunday school.
Uh-huh.
But then there was Sunday school, and then I got to be a smartass and answer all the questions because I could read
Hmm.
at a younger age.
That's awesome.
I was definitely a real keener. Just, uh, uh, do they ever do like sword uh find a verse in a Bible the fastest
Oh, we
contests
never did that.
during mass?
We didn't have like a separate activity for children in mass. We just had an enclosed room where all the families who have children could be. So it was like a room that had like a glass window, like a glass wall essentially, so that we didn't have to hear your children cry.
Yeah, no, the speed contest find the verse was adults too. That was the entire congregation could participate, and then you got to read it out loud if you got there first, which was just for me. It's my game. Like, oh, I knew memorizing all of the books of the Bible would come in handy one day.
Revelation's a hoot, man. Yeah, there's a lot that I had questions about, and then so I read my way through the Bible. I gotta admit, I definitely skipped over a bunch of Leviticus and a lot of the letters because it was mostly, I mean, Leviticus is really boring. Sorry, Sorry, anyone here who really is a Leviticus stan, but it's a lot of rules. It's just a lot of rules. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm a kid. I don't know
You
why.
don't want to know how to properly drain a goat? Like, come on.
I'm sorry. I also just like there's also like parts of the Bible that's just like blah, who is the son of blah blah, and the son of blah, who was also the ruler, and you get this part of Canaan, and like you get this part of the land. I'm like, this is I have no context. And there's like, here's a map, and I'm like, okay, so they get that. Do they do anything with it? No one tells me anything. so
And you get to the epistles and you're just like, wow, Paul's not a really engaging writer.
yeah, Paul's just spends most of his time yelling at other people, just like, "Hey,
Like, he
stop
didn't
it,
get out much.
stop
Like,
it." There's just yeah, the letters were just mostly. I think honestly, if you're making it through the Bible, Revelations is like a reward for getting through letters, all the various letters like Corinthians and whatnot. Like, okay, you've had enough of just
now
Paul
let's
yelling
go
at
on a
people.
drug trip. Like,
Let's go on an epic drug trip.
yeah, no, I've never considered the Book of the Revelation a high point. It was just like, and here's the end.
I okay, Revelation has got to be some of my favorite nonsense. It's so dramatic.
That's true. There's some high drama there. Maybe even a
Yeah,
little camp. Like,
a
is
little.
wearing multiple crowns on your multiple heads camp or not?
Having the whore of Babylon like come out riding a thing completely naked out of the desert, that's 100% camp. Like, we'll we'll defend that. Like four horsemen coming out. Yeah, definitely. Each of them has a theme. What is
Oh,
this, brunch?
yeah.
Okay, somebody please come up with an apocalypse Revelations themed brunch because I would love to see what the. It's got to be like if I had to design a brunch around Revelation, the four horsemen of the apocalypse would definitely be a four um, eggs Benedict special. Um, like
All
you
Bloody
get four eggs.
Marys.
Yeah, it's served with a Bloody Mary, but each but eggs Benedict is a different. It's like a different horseman. Um, so one is probably bloody because that's war. Is famine, but famine can also be like because it's famine,
Well, it's just like
pestilence.
this came from a skinny cow.
Yeah,
Like,
this came from a skinny cow. Like here's like vegan
or you
cheese
just
and
drink
like
a
a
skinny
really
cow.
thin
There you
cracker.
go.
It's
It's
just
just four
a
drinks.
Whitecaster famine is just an eggshell. Yes,
Just let's see. Bloody Mary, skinny cow, uh
whatever death is on, it's got to be on the English muffin because it's a pale horse.
yeah,
Yeah,
just vodka, just straight vodka, and then sewage. Like, those are your drinks.
because I thought pestilence would be something more like you got to put like some kind of mealworm.
It's a
Maybe it's made with
grasshopper.
mealworm flour. Yeah. So you have the four eggs Benedicts of the apocalypse with four drinks on the side. Could do a foam deconstruction for famine. Would love that.
Definitely spent a period of time in high school with my friends, like spitballing ideas for a sitcom around the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse, sharing an apartment,
Just
and what
waiting
kind of
for the end of the world.
hijinks. Like, Pestilence didn't buy groceries again. You know,
If
fun,
that feels
normal high
very,
school activities.
I mean, that's fantastic. You sound like an excellent person to have known whilst in. Oh no, I did
Yeah,
not.
we called our table Xanadu and ourselves the 13 Apostles of Xanadu.
I
And
love
every year on a date, we would buy everyone chicken burgers
that.
and just go
I
in
love
and
that.
just clear the cafeteria out of chicken burgers.
That sounds fantastic. I love that. Gosh, my I wasn't that cool in high school. I was too busy trying to get good
I
grades.
don't think anyone would have called us cool. Everyone except me that I sat with at the table ended up in the yearbook as the most likely to die alone with a cat.
What?
Yeah, it's just all of the guys I sat with were in that picture, and I was not in that picture. I was like, why did I get left out of this? Yearbook committee? Rude.
I went to an all girls school. And so I remember definitely hanging out with the nerds. And I remember very viscerally, like, being at a table where we talked about Sailor Moon and Star Trek. And then occasionally, like, wondering. I remember wondering as I, like, looked at the vending machine that we sat next to the vending machines, um, sort of vaguely whether or not I should go buy a bottle of Orbits or should I just go get
Oh,
Utopia again. I
yeah,
remember
that's
trying
that's
Orbit
like a
once.
sense memory.
Is very Orbits is so strange.
See, I know orbits, and it's just like, okay, I was a kid. I was in Prince George. I was across the street from a Mr. G's. They had orbits. I had a Coke card at the time, the Coke points. I used to collect those cards. Probably still have some around, but yeah. I think the fuzzy peach, because you had to try all of the orbits flavors, but the fuzzy peach or the navel, fuzzy navel
Fuzzy.
was the only one that I liked.
I honestly remember like a berry flavor and then disappointment. Those are the feelings and sensations and flavors I I had while I was imbibing, if you would call it imbibing, in orbits,
Hmm.
which was so weird and strangely viscous
Yeah, the fluid was thick,
and unpleasant.
syrupy, and
It
then
was
the blobs. You had to hunt for them, and
you
then
did
when you
have to.
found one, it wasn't a good time.
I remember trying and eating a blob and then realizing that this was just a pale imitation of
Boba.
bubble tea.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if we had boba as children, we would have turned out better, I think.
Gosh, I remember when I was a kid being one of the first people I like being the first person I know to try boba. We had gotten some from my relatives on the West Coast,
Hmm.
and they sent it to us, and we made it ourselves, and it was just so good. And I was like, "What? I People need to understand that this is the future, right here."
Yeah, we just had tapioca pudding and we call it frog eggs.
Oh, Brisk. I remember Brisk. Is Brisk still around?
Yes.
Oh, good lord.
Oddly enough, Lipton is still bottling things and calling it tea.
I mean, that's what Snapple is all about too, right? Bottling things and calling it juice and giving us like strange pieces of advice underneath the lids.
What was the lizard one?
Sobe.
Yeah, that had things under the lid too. Hmm.
Mm. Oh, why do I keep doing that? Let's go this first. Perfect. Yeah, and then I remember just getting Cheez-Its. To this day, Cheez-Its are still like probably my go-to savory vending machine snack. There's a tanginess to the cheddar that I'm really into.
I think the A tier vending machine snack in Canada was Sun Chips.
Oh, sun chips. Oh man, we didn't have sun chips at our vending machine. Y'all are fancy.
Yeah, right?
Oh heck. I do remember discovering Snickers ice cream bars at a young age. And
I
they were
found those for the first time when I went to San Francisco.
aren't they amazing? I love them.
Yes.
I personally love them. I think they're great. I They were the most expensive thing in the high school and in the middle elementary school slash middle school cafeteria where I went where I was. They were a whopping 75 cents. And oh gosh, the value.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like paying like pooling my money together with some other kids and just getting one to share, and that was epic.
Yeah, no, it was yeah, like 2017. Mind blown. Did not know about ice cream bars like that. No
Oh, it's
brand name ice cream bars. Like the most we had was like Snickers or Rolo Chunks in ice cream.
mhm,
But no, you could just have a chocolate bar that's full of ice cream
mhm.
and Choco Tacos.
Oh, Choco Tacos are good. I didn't get those until I was older. They did not have those where I was in Texas.
Don't have them here.
Hey, chat.
Mail me some ice cream.
Millie ice cream, please. I actually did order ice cream online because I'm
You like to live
sorry,
dangerously?
I do like to live dangerously, but also because so there's this thing out in the West Coast called Salt and Straw, and they just have the best flavors of ice cream. I love them because they're very daring with their approach, and every month is a different theme. The ice cream out here is good. It's just very basic. You know, you got your rocky roads, maybe on like a really like spicy day.
And
Well,
whereas Salt and Straw is just like, hey, would you like cherry with bone marrow?
yes, which I did have once and was like, well, that was an
Yeah.
experience.
Would you like
Um,
whiskey ice cream?
I would actually. It's really good. I like whiskey ice cream. I'm weird. I know. But this month is flowers, and so they had a like saffron ginger with like candied rose petals, and like my favorite so far has been the pistachio rose water with strawberry mochi. That has been excellent.
Hmm. There's an ice cream place here called Cold Comfort, and they make
Ooh,
ice cream sandwiches, but also their own ice cream. And I got one once that I think was just called Medicine, and
okay.
it had ginger and lemon zest and just a couple spices in it, but it was just like labeled very correctly.
Oh, that's very good. I that sounds amazing. Um, there was one year where Salt and Straw did a oh, I'm just gonna do that. Where they did a collaboration with local elementary school kids. And so, fun fact: when my family moved here to the States, when they fled from Vietnam, one of the things they decided to do and stuck with, after a series of other attempts, was form. I think one of the first Vietnamese dessert chains, like in the United States, in
Mm-hmm.
San Jose. And so, Vietnamese desserts are very similar to like desserts from Thailand or the Philippines. Lots of puddings, and a lot of things that are similar to halo halo, but not quite. Um, and so there's a lot of like pandan leaf jellies and fresh jackfruit and fresh coconut milk, stuff like that. If you
Sounds
haven't had fresh,
good.
it's really amazing, especially in the summer. I'm like, ah. And then they have these things in the winter, like mung bean, glutinous rice, like dumplings in a sugary caramelized ginger sauce. It's so freaking good with like sesame seeds on top and a little bit of coconut milk. Um, anyway, so uh, Salt and Straw apparently interviewed a little Vietnamese girl, and they made like a cha like flavored ice cream, and it was so good. I was like very worried at first because I'm like, okay, Salt and Straw is it's not a POC like
No.
own thing. It's not Vietnamese. Like I'm concerned, but optimistic. So I'm gonna try this. and it was delicious. And I was like, this is America. This is the American dream right here.
One of the places here, I don't. I'm not a big fan of Vietnamese food. I don't like a lot of it, but one of the places here has an avocado milkshake.
Oh, yeah, Rosenthal. Yeah,
That's an experience.
it's really good. I've had it ever since I was a kid.
Oh,
It's decadent.
it really is.
It's decadent.
Yeah.
Um,
Just sign me up for dessert. Coffee and
Vietnamese
dessert.
desserts, Vietnamese desserts are the bomb. Like I, not a lot of people know about them. I've definitely asked my aunt, like in the past, like if you just find the right marketing group, this will like become the darling of every white hipster in the mission. And she was like, "Nah, I just want to stay in the community." I'm like, "Fine." And then I thought about doing it, and I was like, "That's a lot of work. Never mind."
Yeah. But no. If you happen to start up a place, you move up here, you start up a place, and it's not just pho and like spring rolls.
Oh no,
That'll
it would
show
be a
up.
dessert place for sure.
Yeah.
I would need to honor my family's
You have
legacy.
one customer when I have disposable income and when I feel like going outside. Yes.
I mean, I can see a way we could do delivery. It would be a little tricky, especially with shaved ice, but we'd figure it out. Um,
Little portable ice shaving machine.
oh, portable ice shaving machine. Yeah, love it. Oh yeah, there was a moment in time where I did seriously consider also starting a gourmet marshmallow business called Marsmallows.
I'm
Because
imagining
I
a very fancy cheap
a very fancy what?
marshmallow, or cheap or peep.
Peep. Oh, okay, gotcha. It's like a cheap. That's a new one. Um, so recently I had discovered how to make a good Scotch marshmallow, and everyone was like, "You should sell these." And then I thought about it, and then I actually did price it out, and I realized this would be so expensive to make because single malt Scotch is expensive. And other people were like, "Oh, but you could use like a not a real Scotch," and I'm like, "I don't know. You clearly know nothing of Scotch."
Okay, the Kirkland stuff that Costco sells is pretty good. But
Okay,
they don't often have, like, it's not always a single malt. Sometimes they have a blend. But I think, you could
you could do
do
like
a
a Scotch
blend.
marshmallow that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I maybe make it
And there
cheaper.
you go. Now you know you can buy it bulk.
But it also depends on like the kind of Scotch as well. Like I actually did some experimentation with various different kinds of Scotches, and let's see. Okay, that's what happened. Um, come on, come back here. Okay, we can do that instead. Um, because not all Scotches taste the same, obviously. So I ended up going for like an Islay Scotch that had a little bit of salt to it
Okay.
because that works really nicely with kind of the sweet, airy, almost creaminess of a marshmallow.
Right. You wouldn't want like a Highland because the
Yeah,
sweetness is
Highland would
just,
disappear.
yeah.
It would disappear immediately. And I think like Lefroy is just too much. Like you want to be sure you choose like the right scotch. And the one I thought was best for the purpose I was where the purpose was Bunnahabhain actually. Bunnahabhain 12. And there's like a certain amount of brininess to it that I thought
Okay.
was just
Interesting.
absolutely
So
yeah.
yeah, like a young bright, but if it's an Islay, then it's peatier.
Yeah, you definitely want that peat, but you really want I think a little bit of saltiness to just create a really nice full balance of flavors. Because yeah, peat monster, you're just gonna get like smoke and sugar, and that's not really what I'm going for when I
Peat
make.
Monster is one of the first scotches I had.
Really? What
Yeah,
did you think of it?
it wasn't that bad. I can actually drink it, which is unusual for people.
Are you more of a Highland Scotch person?
Um, maybe Lowland. Yeah.
Mm, I'm an Isla girl, although I do love Oban. That's always my go-to if I'm in a hotel bar or at a conference and at a hotel bar.
Okay, that's a
And
lie. I'm a Japanese person. You
oh,
give me,
Yamazaki.
yeah, the Yamazaki or even just the Nika. We've
Yamazaki.
got like the Nika coffee malt. You love
Oh, the
that.
Nika coffee malt's really great. It's very, very good.
Yeah, yeah. So that for a good time, Suntory time, like
Yeah. I'm definitely an old school Scotch girl. Um, yeah, I like Oban as especially the 14 just as a good standard. Um, Mostly because usually no one else goes for it because they don't know quite what to. I don't know. I had to learn how to Scotch good in order to impress like some guys at a startup I was at.
really. Oh, did they have like group Scotch things? They've done that here at one of the places we did Desert Bus at. They
Oh,
had like a Scotch
not
night.
not anything that sophisticated. I'm
Okay,
afraid they would take shots of Lefroy 10
why?
because they hate life. I don't know. Because they're very insecure in their masculinity and self identity. I think that's the only thing I can really say. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I discovered that one way to like be taken seriously is by learning things that other people care about. And then I genuinely just fell in love with Scotch, so
Mm,
that helped a bit. But yeah, I ended up going to Scotland for my honeymoon and everything, so that was a lot of fun.
mm-hmm. Ian
Got
got me into
yelled at by
Scotch, so
ooh, yeah, Doug really likes a nice like Speyside or a very light Highland. So Dalwhinnie, for example, is definitely his go-to. I really get hope I get to go back to Oban though. Like, not only was the distillery awesome, they let us have some barrel strength stuff. It was very fun. Um, but also apparently it has the best fish and chips in the UK, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
oh, oh no.
I didn't know that. Now I want to go back, and now I can't because the plague. So
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're in the UK, go get some good fish and chips for me.
And don't tell us how it was.
Don't tell us how it was, or tell us how it was. Just at me. You don't have to. You don't have to attack Corey. You can just at me and like let me live through you. Okay.
It's a lot of fish and chips here.
I mean, y'all. I'm given where you are. I imagine you have a pretty good fishing community. Yeah.
In mini Britain? No. Not so much. Not so much fishing here.
Oh.
We're more of a tourist trade port.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I saw when I was on the ferry over. I saw a bunch of like, do a tourist over here and do a tourist over here, and I'm like, I didn't realize that this was a touristy thing. I thought it was just really pretty.
Yeah, you can go like whale watching. They don't like it when you
Yep.
try to catch the whales.
Oh, I went whale watching once. It was actually a lot of fun when I wasn't motion sick.
Oh no.
Um, yeah, I'm very prone to motion sickness. It is an unfortunate thing. Um,
I feel that,
like
but
when I was on,
boats, if I'm outside, I'm good.
yeah, but yeah, Joko was definitely rough on a couple of days, and
Oh
they were like,
no.
"Yeah, it's okay."
Oh.
Um, but I, what you call it? So we decided to go out. We were taking a weekend in Monterey, which if you haven't been to, I love visiting. They have, in my opinion, the best aquarium in the world,
Okay.
and I don't know, I love learning about fishies and animals and stuff. And they have a bunch of otters, and they tell you all about their otter rescue program, and it's really cute. Anyway, um, so one of the things you can do out there, besides go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium and visit like places where John Steinbeck was at some point, um, you can go whale.
Just go with your whiskey and learn about Steinbeck.
Just
Yeah.
like going with you, look at Cannery Row and just like, yep, Steinbeck. Uh, but what was I saying? Sorry, I'm like trying not to stab myself while also talking, which is fun.
I didn't
Okay,
know that
gotcha.
was a challenge. I
Yeah, I think I'm doing a really good job of not stabbing myself. I haven't really stabbed myself so far, which is maybe I'm speaking too soon. This stream isn't over yet, so um, yeah, chat. Let's see if we draw blood today, huh? That'll be a first for this stream, I bet.
yeah, but then I lose you to Tinker Tailor, and then you was going to end the
No.
show.
um, but yeah, so there is a whale watching boat that you can catch, and at least the day that I was out there, it was a lot of fun because we got to see not just a whale that decided to like show off literally next to our boat, and it breached right next to our boat,
Ooh.
and was just like stop, and then like went back into the sea. But we also saw some otters that were holding hands and some seals. It was, I gotta say, like I definitely, the Monterey Bay Aquarium has really instilled a deep love of like the habitat of the bay, the aquatic habitat of the bay.
Yeah.
It's just so cool. Also otters, but like such cool stuff. The other day though, I did hear a beagle bay, and I thought it
Oh.
was a sea.
Whoa.
Wah!
Bloodhounds
I
got the
just turned around.
scent.
I was at the farmer's market. I'm like, where's the seal? Does someone have
Yeah,
sea
yeah, it is a
lion
similar
around
noise.
here? Like, whoa. Yeah, that is one thing I also miss from San Francisco. Like going, one of my favorite things to do is if I have to be at Fisherman's Wharf, I will go to the dock and watch the sea lions play sea lion Jenga with themselves
Yeah.
on the various rafts. I was on a I was on a bachelor like wine booze cruise around
Okay.
the bay
Okay.
once. It was a very small boat. I must impress upon you that this boat was maybe about 15 feet long and like built more like a ferry than a boat, but it was still a boat. Um, and so we took a cruise around, and there was like wine and hors d'oeuvres, and we were playing games and having fun. And as we head back to dock, we realized we cannot dock because there are two male sea lions having a fight on our dock, on our side dock. And it's just uh like now I'm going to demonstrate my world famous sea lion impression. Um
Oh, hold on. Yes, all right, give us a go.
okay, so like there's two sea lions on the
And
pier.
they're trying to be
Uh
taller than each other.
one trying to be solid. So there's just like and
I'm in your
then like
face. I'm in your face.
and then the and as they're doing this, they're also like and they like kind of bodily get closer to like they shimmy closer to one another on the pier, and they're just like
And then ah.
and then the other one is like fine, I'll leave, and then like goes into goes like plunges into the sea, but then pops up on the other side
I'm back.
of the
I'm back.
sea lion. Like, I'm back, what do you want, what do you want? It's like, and then it begins again, the
Ah.
So for like 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, we're just sitting there in the boat, just like, well, I guess this boat, this tiny, fragile wine boat, versus two full-grown sea lions, California sea lions. Yeah, we get
Oh,
absolutely destroyed. We're just
yeah.
gonna
No,
win here.
imagine if one of them got onto the boat.
Chaos, wine, sea mammals. The trifecta of complete insanity that no one ever predicted. Oh god.
Oh,
If that happened, I would need to, like, find an artist and commission them to, like, draw the scene a la
that's like
y y
Washington crossing the Delaware. Like you want that to be
yeah,
dramatic.
you want it to be dramatic. It's like those old naval disaster, oil paintings.
Yeah, the
Like,
cruel
there's
sea is
one of
right. Yeah.
it's just like us doing like ah and then like holding bottles of wine and then just two male sea lions just like slamming into the side of this boat. Yeah, unfortunately no torso slamming. There was just a lot of like them playing chicken with each other on this boat on this pier. Um it was just really funny.
All right.
So
It's pretty much time for us to shut down. This has been
on
really
that
fun,
note,
Michelle. Oh,
anytime friends you need me to break this out for you, you just let me know.
oh.
I think the first time I did this for Hex, another friend of mine, I think they just die. They just straight up die. It's also hard not to see the rest of my body as I do this because I do
Well,
throw
you
my entire
gotta,
like
cause
just gotta like
you get a hinge at the, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of shimmying. It's great.
Okay, I'm gonna thank some subs. Uh,
Yeah, let's do it. Let's thank some subs.
Start with Zeth Russ for 94 months. I
Woo!
need to pee 48 months. It's a long time. Sounds
I hope you got
unhealthy. Zaxis EMK, 42 months. And Jean Jacques EB, also 42 months. Congrats on the number. Nick's Fire, 53 months. Thank you. That's everybody. I'm going to be heading off to the office for some gang beasting. And Michelle will return to the sea.
from whence I came.
Yes. No, are you up to anything else this week or?
Oh, let's see. No, not much up to anything this week, which is really nice. I actually really needed a break. So I am mostly up to just like working on, I'll be posting like progress shots as I continue working on Iron Pot Alexander for Desert Bus. So if you like Elden Ring and you like pottery, yes, I am making our sweet boy. I will not be filling his belly with body bits though. So
Just
that's
fluid
for
that he can
you.
spill on the beach,
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean,
try to
that's
like
really
pose him like he's trying to scoop it back up inside. Yeah.
I mean, that is really up to the person who wins him.
Oh,
I'm leaving it
okay.
empty so you can put whatever you want to put in him. That's up to you. I'm suggesting a planter, but you can plant other things like bones. But yeah, I'm gonna be mostly doing that this week. Just chilling and relaxing. I'm actually going to do some like podcast concert stuff that's all like masked and vaccinated, so that's great. But
Oh,
so I'm going to be seeing The Adventure Zone. My Dad Wrote a Porno, which if you like bad smut, I really recommend as a podcast.
okay.
Uh, yeah, and Mabim Bam. So I'm seeing like it's a double heaping of McElroys and one heaping of really badly written British smut. So yeah.
It's not to say that the Mantle Boys will not be also making bad smut during their show.
Oh,
It's hard to know what direction they'll go for.
true, but I don't think Clint will be writing that smut. Whereas I
It's
think
gonna be
so,
Travis.
It's gonna be Travis. So it wouldn't be like my dad wrote a porno. It would be like I wrote a porno.
And now my dad
Um,
has to read it.
I'd pay for that. I'd pay to watch that.
I
On
don't
that
want to
note,
think. My mom has kind of a crush on Clint. I don't want that to be a. I no no. Uh.
just no.
Just be like, okay, mom, I know you're listening to the Adventure Zone, but you can't listen to this season. I'm forbidding you from listening to this podcast.
It's the Adventure Zone After Dark. Oh god, that would be fantastic. I would definitely watch that or listen to it. It would be great. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing this week and yeah, that's pretty much my life right now. Just getting things done. So, yeah.
All right, well,
You can find me on the internet though. You can find me on Twitter at Killfiend Potter. You can find my stuff. Oh, sorry.
there.
Right. Okay. Boom. You can find. I got stuff here. You can find me here on the internet if you want to hang out.
Kiln Fiend Potter.
Yes, the Kiln Fiend. 'Tis me. Excellent. What used to be a pauper staple and now is just a bad pun on pottery. That took a really long time to find, by the way, when I was like, oh, I'm starting like a business. I need like something that's nerdy and magic related, but also ceramics. And I'm just gonna blame all that on Ethan Fleischer, even though like he doesn't deserve any of it.
Sounds
Ethan.
safe. Safe target there.
Yeah, save target. Sweetest person I've ever met. Save target.
Won't fight back. Yep.
Sweet tall man will not fight back. Okay.
All
But
right.
yeah, that's me.
Okay, everybody. Have a good day. See you later or not. It's up to you or fate.
You
Anyways,
have most of the power.
yeah.
Bye.